AMC stock is definitely one of the best opportunities to make money in the stock market right now. Why? Because the potential is unlimited. And it truly is. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who talk about things like AMC stock going to $1,000 a share, $10,000 a share, $100,000 a share. So let's break down the numbers. Let's keep it real, right? We don't want to get too hopeful, but let's break down the numbers, see what it means for market cap, see what it means for the possibility of selling shares at these levels, and so on, so we can get a better understanding of just how high AMC stock can go. So of course, if this sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2021 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us. Become a bro. We are here every single day, and we're growing our portfolios together. And yes, I turned the sign around, so now it says bro correctly. You no longer have to watch the videos in a mirror. All right, AMC stock. Let's get down to business. Now, we know that AMC stock at $10 per share was worth about $5 billion total. At $100 a share, it's worth $50 billion. 1,000, we get into $500 billion. 10,000, $5 trillion. $100,000 per share would make AMC worth more than the entire stock market, the current price of the entire stock market. Clearly, it's calculated into that price. But it would make AMC stock worth $50 trillion. So let's talk about this for a second. Are these prices that people are talking about attainable? Is it something that we can reach? So let's just use that $100,000 number really quick, because I know a lot of people want to see AMC stock go to $100,000 per share. Now, this would mean, yes, the market cap of AMC would be $50 trillion. Unheard of. Completely unheard of. We know that the company AMC Entertainment is not worth $50 trillion. So market cap in this sense doesn't necessarily mean the value of that stock. It's not something based on fundamentals. It's not reflecting what the company's actually worth. In other words, it's reflecting how much we're charging the hedge funds to pay for those short shares that they've got outstanding. How much are we willing to charge them? Because they're willing to pay anything we're willing to charge them, right? They are obligated to buy those stocks back. So market cap doesn't necessarily reflect what the company's worth. It reflects what we're willing to charge the hedge funds. So let's take a look at that for a second. If we charge them $100,000 per share, yes, that means that AMC is worth $50 trillion. Insane to think about, but here's another thing, okay? The short shares on record as outstanding right now are somewhere floating around 100 million shares. Okay, it's not the entire float. It's not the entire 490 some million shares outstanding. Now, synthetics could be a different story, right? They easily could be a different story if you include synthetics that nobody knows or doesn't know exist. I feel more comfortable using that 100 million share mark, and it makes it easier to talk about. Two, it makes it, something that you have basis on. You can base your information on it, and you can base your trade based on that number then. So if we use that 100 million, it doesn't necessarily mean that all 450 million shares, like if you own a share of AMC, it doesn't mean that you would get to sell your stock at that $100,000 level, because only 100 million shares could potentially be bought back by the hedge funds. So let's break this down a little further. Where do you sell your stock? Look, if you see AMC stock going up to $100 per share, excellent. There will be people who sell their stock at that. We saw it last Friday when people were selling their stock at $36 per share. So everybody has different numbers that they're going to be willing to sell at. Now, the beautiful thing is, and this makes the entire difference between FOMO buying, retail investors going out there buying, and hedge funds having to cover the stock. So when you get to a certain level, when AMC stock reaches a certain price, retail investors will no longer be buying that stock. It's clear, and I don't know what that number is. If AMC stock goes to $10,000 a share, Are there still investors? And you can answer down in the comments below if you want to shed some light on it. If AMC stock goes to $1,000 per share, are you still going to buy it? If AMC stock goes to $10,000 per share, will you still buy it? If AMC stock goes to $50,000 per share, will you still buy it? Look, there is a limit on what retail investors will pay for the stock. There is no limit on what the hedge funds have to pay for the stock to buy it back. So if you're thinking there's no way anybody in their right mind would pay $100,000 for AMC stock, look, you're correct. There is no way in anybody's right mind that they would pay $100,000 for AMC. It's just, they wouldn't do it, right? People wouldn't even pay $10 for AMC stock, and now they're missing out, of course, but there's nobody in their right mind that would pay $100,000 for AMC stock. But here's the beautiful thing. Hedge funds are obligated to pay whatever price you can hold out to. Now, the risk versus reward that you need to think about as a shareholder of AMC, and this is what it comes down to, okay? I can hold out as long as possible. You can hold out as long as possible. But the only thing that you need to be concerned with, the price target that you're going to come up with in your mind where you're okay with selling. Because yes, these crazy numbers are possible, but here's the deal. They're only possible if we don't sell the shares back to the hedge funds. If the hedge funds get a hold of whatever amount of shares it is that they need to cover, if it's 100 million, if you're using that number, if you're using synthetics, if they can buy and sell a couple shares and buy that share back a few times during the day, whenever they cover their short positions, they will no longer be buying AMC stock, okay? And here's the deal. If we know that retail investors have a certain price limit that they will buy AMC stock at, and we know that once hedge funds cover their short positions, they will no longer be buying AMC stock, that's what causes the price, that's what causes the limit on the peak. And then, with no more hedge funds buying the stock, no more retail investors buying the stock, what's that do? That eliminates demand. The supply is there. That eliminates demand, and the stock price comes back down. So it's a very big game of give and take. It's a very big game of risk analysis versus the reward analysis and how long you're willing to hold out. Now, yes, if everybody holds out, perfect. That's perfect. But is that going to be the case, guys? You have to ask yourself right now, how much do you believe in the other 3+ million investors in AMC stock right now? Do you believe that every single one of them is an ape? Do you believe that every single one of them is able and willing to hold out that long? Or do you believe that they will be tempted on the way up? Because I believe that they're going to be heavily tempted. Now, I often say that I would love to see AMC stock hit $1,000 per share. Yes, this would be an excellent opportunity. Yes, it would have a very high market cap on the stock, but I believe that people could be able to hold out somewhere in that range. I could be completely wrong, right? They could all sell when AMC stock hits $100, or man, I could be super conservative and we could see AMC stock blow right past $1,000. But I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on the fact that, yeah, okay, AMC could have this just ridiculous market cap, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what AMC stock is worth, okay? It simply means that is how much we're charging the hedge funds. And whether or not one person is able to hold out till that $100,000 mark, and one person is able to sell at that $100,000 mark, because that's the tricker there. That's the thing, okay? If that one person holds out, if those hedge funds haven't covered that share at $100,000 per share yet, and they've got one share left to cover, they put a buy order in for one share. Now, yes, AMC stock in all of our portfolios could be showing $100,000 per share. We could all be sitting on billion-dollar portfolios, but you have to remember, there's only a buy order coming in for one stock at $100,000. Or, I'm just using that number one, but it's whatever they have left to cover. So if they have one share left to cover and it gets to that $100,000 price, our portfolios are going to reflect it, but only one person would get to sell at that price. So it's very important to remember how many shares the hedge funds have left to cover, because that's going to be a huge factor in who gets to sell at the peak. Now, of course, we could sell on the way up and on the way down and all of those different things. But it's very crucial that everybody keeps in mind that the hedge funds are going to be the one paying these ridiculous prices, not retail investors. So guys, hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on what it looks like for the price of AMC stock moving up, the availability of shares, who's going to be buying these shares at these crazy prices, and maybe gives you a different perspective on how to view market cap when AMC becomes so completely detached from all of reality that we see these ridiculous prices come into play. Now, guys, I want to know your price predictions down in the comments below if you are willing to hold the stock. It seems like everybody gets antsy as soon as the stock price increases 10, 20, 30% and they want to sell. So encourage the rest of us. If you're willing to hold, we're willing to hold, and let us know down there in the comments below. Inspire us to reach life-changing money. Now, of course, if that red button is still there, if that subscribe button is still red, subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we're growing our portfolios together. And look, there's a link in the description below for Webull. You can use that, sign up, get those free shares after you deposit $100. Sell them if you'd like and buy a share of AMC, and you get no money out of pocket. It's a perfect storm. What else we got? Twitter. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below. ClayBro883 is the name there. ClayBro.com if you would like to get a bro shirt or some bro stickers. They're available there. Now, until the next time, guys, I hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.